Pick a number from 1 to 10. Walk by with it within the next 10 seconds. The number is 5. Next one, pick a number from 1 to 5. The number is 4. And the last one, pick a number from 1 to 2. The answer is 1. If you want to buy a ticket, they're $5 million apiece. Limit of 2. The objectives for today: to solve for a missing side of a right triangle. And here's a quick review on some of these basic items. For example, if I have this angle and I'm looking at this side, what side is that? It's the opposite. If I have this angle and I'm looking at this side, what is that? Hypotenuse. If I have this angle and this side, what's that? Adjacent. If I have this angle and this side, what's that? Hypotenuse. Let's say I have this angle and I know this and I'm looking for this. I'm using those two sides. What function would that be? Tangent. It would be tangent because this is opposite and this is adjacent. Let's say I have this angle and I know this side and I'm looking at this one. What function would that be? Cosine, because this is adjacent and this is hypotenuse. Let's say I have this angle, this, and this. What function would that be? That would be sine, because this is opposite and this is hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse is sine. What if I had this and I'm looking at this and this? What function is that? Tangent. That is because we have opposite and adjacent. What if I had this angle, this, and this? What one is that? Cosine. This is adjacent. That is hypotenuse. And what about this one? I know this angle, I know this, and this. Tangent, yes. Opposite and adjacent. What if I had this angle, this, and this? Cosine, yes, because this is adjacent and this is hypotenuse. What if I have this angle, this one, and this one? Tangent. That's because that's opposite and adjacent. And last one, this angle, this one, and this one. Sine. That is opposite and hypotenuse. Before we go to example number 1, I'll work any of the test problems out for you if you want me to look at them. Okay, example number 1. If I have 33 degrees, this is x, and this is 27, what function am I going to use? Sine, yes, we're going to use sine because this is opposite and this is hypotenuse. So you would have sine of 33 degrees equals opposite x over hypotenuse 27. And in a sine problem where you know the hypotenuse, all it is simple multiplication. Just multiply those two things together. Find sine of 33 first, and that's 0.54463, and then multiply it by 27. Round to the tenths place, and you come up with 14.7. Example number 2. In this case, we have 23 degrees. We know 52, but we don't know x. What function am I going to use? We're going to use sine because this is opposite and this is hypotenuse. But in this case, we don't know the hypotenuse. Sine of 23 degrees equals opposite 52 over x, which is the hypotenuse. Whenever you don't know the hypotenuse, that's when you end up dividing. you end up dividing this by this, because when you cross multiply, that's how it works out. So if you do 52 divided by sine 23 on your calculator, put in 52, hit divided, and then put in sine 23. What should you come back with? 133.1, yes. Practice number 1. 45 degrees. We don't know this, but we do know this. Solve for x and round it to the tenths place. On this, it's going to be sine 45 degrees, and that equals x over 60. When you're missing a leg, it's a simple multiplication problem. So sine of 45 times 60 should give you an answer of 60. If you have a 45 degree angle, in this case, let's see, I'm looking back at this and I'm seeing sine 45 equals x over 60. Here's the problem. It should be sine 45 and then times 60. That's not 60, that should be 42.4. That's my fault. Pick a number from 1 to 3 while we give everybody some time. This bonus number is 2. Here's another bonus number. Bonus number is 1. Here's practice problem number 2. In this case, we know 61 degrees. We know 32 for this side, but we don't know the hypotenuse. Solve for x and round to the tenths place. The solution here, this should be sine 61 equals 32 over x. And this is the case where you don't know the hypotenuse, which means you divide this by this. 32 divided by sine 61 should be 36.6. A bonus while we wait on those to finish. Pick a number from 1 to 3. Bonus number was 3. Example number 3. In this case, I know 37 degrees. I don't know this, but I do know 25 for the hypotenuse. What function will this be? It'll be cosine. Cosine 37 degrees over 1 equals adjacent x over hypotenuse 25. Now when you don't know the leg, but you do know the hypotenuse, that's simply cross multiplying and getting an answer. So do cosine 37 and then multiply by 25. If you round to the tenths place, you should come out with an answer of 20 even. Example number 4. In this case, we know 55 degrees. We know this is 26, but we don't know the hypotenuse. This will be the cosine function because this is adjacent and this is hypotenuse. So that should be cosine 55 degrees over 1 equals 26 over x. And when you don't know the hypotenuse, that's when you're going to divide. 26 divided by cosine 55. 26 divided by cosine 55, rounded to the tenths place, is 45.3. Practice problem number 3. We know 42 degrees. We don't know this, but we do know 39. Find x and round to the tenths place. All right. This is adjacent. This is hypotenuse. So it should be cosine 42 equals x over 39. And in this case, it's a simple multiplication problem. You'll do cosine 42 and then multiply by 39 to get an answer of 29 even. Here's a bonus while we give everybody a chance. Pick a number from 1 to 3. The bonus number should have been 3. Here's another bonus from 1 to 3. The bonus should have been 2. Practice problem number 4. In this case, we have 62 degrees. We know 45, but we don't know x. Find x and round to the tenth place. The solution here is cosine 62 equals 45 over x, and whenever your hypotenuse is missing, that's when you're going to have to divide. In this case, 45 by cosine 62. When you do that, you get an answer of 95.9. Here's a bonus number while we wait on everybody. The bonus number in this case should have been 3. Here's another quick bonus from 1 to 3. The bonus number this time is 1. Example number 5. We know 22 degrees. We don't know this, but we do know 52. What function is this going to be? Tangent. So tangent 22 equals x over 52. And when in the tangent one, if you're missing the opposite, that's where it's going to be a multiplication problem, if you're missing the opposite. So that's just the same as cross multiplying here. Tangent 22 times 52 gives you an answer of 21. Here's example number 6. I know 56 degrees and 67, but I don't know this. Again, it's going to be tangent 56 equals 67 over x. When you're in tangent and you're missing the adjacent, that's when you're going to have to divide. And that would be 67 divided by 56. 67 divided by tangent 56 is 45.2. Practice problem number 5. 72 degrees, we're missing this, and we know this. Find x and round to the tenth place. This will be tangent 64 equals x over, not tangent 64, that's tangent 72 equals x over 64. And in this case, it's a simple multiplication problem. So you'll have tangent 72 multiplied by 64, and you'll come up with an answer of 197. A bonus problem while we wait. Pick a number from 1 to 3. The bonus number should have been 1. Here's another quick bonus. The bonus should have been 1 this time. Practice problem number 6. We know 33 degrees and 72, but we don't know x. Find x and round to the tenth place. Practice. Here we have tangent 33 equals 72 over x. And when you're missing the adjacent in tangent, that's when it's a division problem. In this case, 72 divided by tangent 33. And that comes out to be 110.9. Here's a bonus. Pick a number from 1 to 3. Yeah, answer should be 3. You guys got another bonus from 1 to 3. The bonus should have been 3.